Is everybody ready? It's 7 o'clock. We'll call the regular council meeting of March 26th to order. Madam Secretary.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Nichols? Lush?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. First item be the approval of the minutes of March 12th, 2018 regular meeting.
Move approval of the March 12, 2018 minutes.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item, we'll open a public hearing for the stormwater management plan.
I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Schlegel.
Yes, as the size of the city, we're required to have a storm water management plan. And as part of that, we must revise it and update it. And that is, so we have to hold a public hearing to go through that. And this evening, we're going to have Drew Williford is going to update us on the updates to the stormwater systems management plan.
Yes. In 2016, the Department of Natural Resources issued an updated, what we call MS4 permit. MS4 stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. So in essence, think of any kind of storm water that's falling in our community. And that puts regulations on the City of Mexico for monitoring pollutants and trying to minimize any kind of discharge from sites into the cities and ultimately the state's waterways. So part of this process is actually developing what's called a stormwater management plan. And this plan puts particular activities, responsibilities, duties on the city. This is something we develop and then we submit to the Department of Natural Resources for approval. They will review it, and if it meets certain criteria that are found in the permit, they will approve it. So what we are doing here is requesting any public input, including council input, on this document. The document was attached, well, the document was actually uploaded to the city's website. We had a Facebook post. It was also published in an article was published in the Mexico Ledger. To date, we have received no comments on it. So if anyone has any comments tonight that they would like to share or input they would like to share, you're welcome to do so.
Anybody on the board have comments?
So if we find somebody that has an illicit connection, be it cross connection or be it that sump pump connected or whatever it be, what is the punishment for that if they don't? First of all, how long do we give them to correct it? Second of all, is there a fine? How do we go about that?
There are two different things there. Item number one for this particular document, it's actually talking about the sanitary sewer line being connected to the storm sewer line. Many times we're focused on the reverse, storm sewer being connected to the sanitary sewer. So in this document, when you see illicit connection or when you see any kind of item like that,
illicit discharge. Phrase that's used.
Right. Think of it as sanitary going into the storm water, which would eventually make its way into a lake, river, stream, something like that.
The illicit discharge is pollutant in it. It could be, for example, a year or so ago, Ameren had where they wash vehicles and all. They have blockage in the line, the filter that catches the oil and grease, and that discharged off the property. That's an illicit discharge to the storm drainage system. That is a nuisance under our ordinance and is handled through the same procedure and all of notice and correction and fine that any other nuisance would. The illicit connection, like a sump pump to the sanitary sewer, is handled under the sewer sanitary use ordinance. And there, of course, we can order a disconnect or make the disconnect done.
Thank you.
Other questions? This is a public hearing, so if anybody from the public would like to ask a question, make a statement, we ask them to come to the podium, state your name and address. Seeing none, Mr. Slagle, you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes. Next item under new business is Bill number 2018-22, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a task order number 2 with Horner and Schifrin for the survey, inspection, and mapping of sanitary sewer manholes, reading by title only and passage. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. In this budget, we do have some money set aside to do some geographic information survey and mapping for the sewer system. To cover the details of this, we'll turn to Kenzie Russell.
We have been working on this for a number of years. Began mapping our sanitary sewer collection system down in the southwest part of the city, moved across the southern portion of the city, then up to the northwest. This covers, and we actually did a little bit of the east side last year. This covers the central part of the city and the far east out towards the airport area. We will more than likely still have a few left to do, but we think we can manage that with our own in-house staff with whatever the remainder is after this contract is accomplished. This actually locates all of the manholes, performs an inspection of the manholes with a condition. It is the information then that we use for assessing slip lining, assessing sealing of manholes, some of the other contracts that we've had recently here this spring that we put together. It is a tool that allows our wastewater crews to perform maintenance with our CMOM, our planned maintenance schedule on manholes and collection system. So we're recommending that we proceed with this contract. It was a budgeted item in the wastewater budget, and we'd like to get that underway this spring.
Questions?
Chairman's pleasure.
I move for reading of bill number 2018-22 by title only.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Bill number 2018-22, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign task order number 2 with Horner and Schifrin for the survey, inspection, and mapping of the sanitary sewer manholes. Move for passage of bill number 2018-22.
Second.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes. Next item is Bill number 2018-23, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a project contract with Instaform Technologies, LLC for the 2018 CIPP-2 project. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. This is for Phase 2 of the slip lining of the sewer, of the sanitary sewer collection system. This is for work in the Randy, Eagle, Falcon neighborhood. To cover the details of the bid, we'll turn to Kenzie Russell.
As Bruce mentioned, this is the second phase. It, dollar-wise, is approximately the same amount as our first phase was. There are a few differences. Our first phase concentrated on slip lining and on sealing manholes. This phase for this area neighborhood will be to slip line the sewer lines. And then because we have a number of taps that have been made by knocking holes in the pipe and then inserting the house connection, house lateral, and roots have intruded through those connections in many instances. We also have about 60 places where we will do a lateral connection repair, which is done from the inside of the main out. We don't have to dig anything up in order to do that. And so for this neighborhood, for the issues and all, that's the package that this contract includes. In situ farm is the low bidder, I think in part because they already were going to be doing work here and they were able to reduce their mobilization cost significantly there. The timing of this is such that they'll be able to come to town, do both the first phase and the second phase work all at one time. And as you can see, our total costs here, we had budgeted $370,000. Our two contracts total $365,000. So we are within budgeted amounts. We'll not have to use any additional funds.
Questions? Somebody's pleasure.
I make a motion to read bill number 2018-23 by title only.
Second. Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Flash?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Bill number 2018-23, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Instituform Technologies LLC for the 2018 CIPP-2 project. I move for passage of bill number 2018-23.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Flash?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item is Bill number 2018-24, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreement with various organizations for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. The Tourism Commission has met. They have reviewed applications for funding, and they have recommendations for you. And to cover the recommendations, we'll turn to Roger Haynes.
Good evening, Council. The Mexico Tourism Commission met on Tuesday, March 20th, and as part of the agenda, they reviewed 3 applications for tourism funding. One from the Mexico Young Farmers, one from the Brick City Bad Boys, and one from the Mexico Tourism Commission themselves for advertising in the Columbia Missourian for a recreation guide. The Mexico Young Farmers, their request is for funding advertising of the 2018 truck and tractor pull that will be held on Saturday, June 9th. They requested funding in the amount of $5,966. The Tourism Commission, in review of that request, recommends $4,000, which is similar to what they did support the activity for in 2017. This is a one-day event. Brick City Bad Boys, their request is to provide funding for advertising of 5 car shows. Those will be held on the third Saturday, May through September, and that will be in the downtown area. They did request $4,400. The Tourism Commission recommends $3,200. That is similar to the amount requested in 2016, where they were funded for $3,100. Last year, they were funded for $2,500 in 2017 because their events were cut back to 4, but they're going back to 5 again this year. And finally, the Mexico Tourism Commission would like to receive $595 out of the fund to advertise in the Columbia Missourian 2018 Missouri Tourism and Recreation Guide. That is a tabloid that will go out on May 10th, and that will be distributed to their circulation and also to local hotels and restaurants and other venues. The plan is to take a full one-page ad for that value, list several of the activities that are going to be taking place this summer in Mexico, and of course highlight that with several pictures of those activities from the past. That would include like Miss Missouri, Missouri Teen, the 4-H tractor pull, the car show events, Presser Performing Arts schedule, Northern Festival, and Walk Back in Time, just as examples. Staff recommends that council concur with the Mexico Tourism Commission's recommendation and proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution.
I move for a reading of bill number 2018-24 by
Second.
title only.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Slash?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item is bill number 2018-20.
Excuse me.
Oh, excuse me.
You're in a hurry. Didn't want me to
Our
read.
game tonight?
Bill number 2018-24, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreements with various organizations for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. I move for passage of bill number 2018-24.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Slash?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Now, bill number 2018-25, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with the East Central Drug Task Force. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, this is the annual renewal for the contract with the Drug Task Force for cooperative effort for drug enforcement activities. To cover the contract, we'll turn to Chief Rocca.
Nothing really new with the memorandum of understanding. 8 counties, we're up to 8 counties now, and 13 towns that are involved in that. And this is just an MOU that outlines how we will operate with the task force during the next grant year, and the anticipated amount to contribute, which is $11,500. So we recommend that we proceed with the reading and passage of the resolution.
Any changes from previous years?
Just on the number of counties that are involved now.
Okay. Okay, I move for reading of bill number 2018-25 by title only.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Slash?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Bill number 2018-25, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with the East Central Drug Task Force. Move for passage of bill number 2018-25.
Second.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Slash?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item under other business is payment of the claims.
Make a motion to pay the bills?
Second. Williams?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Slash?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item are comments. Begin with the council. We begin with Mr. Robin Lesh.
Yes, since this is my last meeting after being up here for 12 years, so I want to say just a couple of things, not a lot. First of all, I want to the citizens that may be watching this, and those of you in this room, I want to thank you for the opportunity, and it's been a pleasure to serve on the Mexico City Council for these last 12 years. I'd also like to thank the council, all the council members from the previous years for working with me, to get some things done. We did accomplish a few things. Would like to have done more, but that's the way it works. You can't always do everything you'd like to see done. And I want to wish the best of luck to the council members and our new council member coming on next session. To the staff, I want to say thank you for working with me, and it's a really great group of professionals that we have here in Mexico, and I don't think the citizens of Mexico really appreciate the talent that is here in City Hall and the work that you folks accomplish. And that's not necessarily here in City Hall, it's all those employees out there that do the daily work, those public safety officers who we get so many great comments about in this community. I think they do a great job. And the public works folks and the sewer people, I know they got their hands full. constant issues there because the sewer system was neglected for so many, many years. And I'm so glad that we were able to pass a sewer bond issue a few years ago to at least get some of the improvements done. There's still a lot to do, though. So, again, I want to say thank you to everybody, and it's been a great 12 years. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for your service. Mr. Williams.
First, I'm going to say I'm going to miss you up here, Ron. When I first got on here, people don't realize, I think, what we do up here. They want us to come up here and make a lot of change, but, it's like an 80-20 job. It's like 80% stuff's already decided, and what are you going to do? I tell people this, well, why did you do this? What are you going to do? Not take the lowest bid? I mean, what do you, I don't get it. But, Ron, you were a mentor for me at the beginning, and I appreciate everything that you've done. So, hats off to you. Next, I debated on the next part, but it's really been bothering me. So, we had a pretty big fire, and somebody lost their life. And I happened to be up, and I listened to the whole thing go down. And so we had some problems, apparently. We had some water issues. And so nobody's really been able to tell me what happened or why it happened. Apparently we had a wrench break. We had a truck go down for a couple minutes. So everybody's like, well, you have to talk to so-and-so. I'm not going to tell you what, So now I'm, what did transpire and why did we have the issues that we did at the fire?
Well, we fought a fire and we used equipment. And always things are going to happen. The aerial has a 5-inch line that connects, and we weren't able to open up that 5-inch steamer connection on one hydrant, so we went to another one. No big deal. And trying to fight to get that steamer connection off, a wrench broke. No big deal. We have more. So there was nothing out of the ordinary that went on with that fire that couldn't have happened at any fire, whether it was a car fire or a grass fire. It was just using equipment and some kind of brakes.
Well, I listened to all that with the 5-inch, and I was just kind of confused because I said, "What is a hydrant problem? Is it a connection problem? What is it?" Because there were two different hydrants, all pretty close to this house, and nobody could.
A different hydrant, and the connections on the other sides were open and free, and we were already using those.
Yeah, but that wasn't really my biggest issue that night. My biggest issue was there was a call that came in, a domestic call that came in at the same time. I guess this is what I found out afterwards. We sent a detective to this call by himself. I'm pretty sure he wasn't in full gear because he had been called out. I mean, he might have had his vest on, but he wasn't like a uniformed officer at that time. He gets there, and he says, when he gets there, he says, "You might want to see if county can roll me some help because it's a pretty big disturbance." He says, "Non-emergency." Cool. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. Probably a minute later, he gets on, and you can't understand what he says. It's garbled. And another person, one of our people, says, "Did you copy that dispatch?" And they go, "No." And he said, "You need to step county up. He needs assistance now." And so county came, and I talked to the county the next day, and I said, they flew through town to get to this guy. And I appreciate what they did. My concern was we kind of sent this guy in there on his own, and the county had already gotten there, and it was way after the county got there. One of our people finally gets on and says, "Did he ever get assistance?" And to me, I'm like, how does that?
Yeah, this is how that happens. When we have a working fire like that, the detectives come out to back up and handle some calls. On that particular call, it was not a domestic, it was just someone refusing to leave. And when that came out, I was already on my way there too when he asked for another backup car. So before I could get there, he called and said everything was under control. We've sat down and gone through the whole thing with him before. He never felt that he was in any kind of danger. He had a very animated crowd, and he just wanted to get them under control. We would never send anybody knowingly into any kind of danger that they couldn't handle.
Well, and you could hear it over the scanner. People yelling and screaming. I mean, it sounded bad.
It always does.
And I was like, what in the world? Why did we send one guy and we don't have anybody else coming?
We were already moving that way. There are a couple of us that were already going in that direction.
Okay, well, they didn't say anything, and then it was a while later they finally get on. Somebody goes, well, did he ever get any help?
Yeah, well,
And I'm like,
somebody that wasn't paying attention, and we were on top of that.
because safety is like my number one concern, because with officers nowadays,
We got that in our name, so yeah.
yeah, I mean, because I was scared for that guy for a minute there. I was like, whoa, because he's like asking for assistance, and I know officers don't like to do that unless they feel.
We were already moving that way to help.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Dr. Shivers?
Well, guess we won't see you after, well, I'm sure we'll see you in town. So enjoy leaving the council and whatever, endeavors that you plan on pursuing now. Since I know you've been retired for a while, so now you'll get to really retire. Again, thanks to public safety and everything, because we all heard about the fire and didn't hear about the other incident that was going on. But that's one of the things we need to consider as a city, knowing that we have officers that are doubling as our, police and our fire officers. That has to make it difficult on any time when there's a big, emergency taking place. So those are some of the things I think, we can start looking at or, thinking in the future. And I know everything is driven by a budget and what monies we have, but those are things that we have to, when we're talking about, like Chris brought out, safety and keeping everyone safe to the best of our abilities. On a lighter note, if y'all haven't seen Godspell, this is the last few days that you can see that this weekend, and as you know, there's only about 136 seats available at any given show. So it'll be open for the last 2 days, Friday and Saturday. I saw it a couple of weeks ago and it was phenomenal. And that's about all I have to say.
Okay, well, Ron, I'm sorry to see you go, or happy to see you go, because you get to do what you want to do, It's kind of a two-sided coin there, but appreciate all of your time up here, and we will get to see you next meeting for a little while, so.
Last night you were showing
Not at all.
He's got to come and get his
I'm not
dollar.
good with goodbye.
Yeah, come get your dollars.
$1.
Yeah.
Spend more to mail it to him then.
And as Dr. Shiver said, Godspell last week is this week, and it's worth seeing. Remind you that Monday, Thursday services are coming this week. Good Friday services this week. Easter is this Sunday, so may want to take in some of those events also. Mr. Schlegel.
Just wanted to comment, this went out. This is our popular annual financial report. It was mailed last week. I think most everyone got it. And it's really just kind of a nice snapshot and message in regards to, last year's financials and how the money was spent and where it came from. So just, that's all I have.
Okay. At this time, we'll take public comments. If you would like to make a public comment, we ask you to come to the podium, state your name and address, and try to hold your comments within 3 minutes. Seeing no one going to the podium, I move we adjourn.
Second. Yes.
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 Yes. We have the radio.